Yeah. So everything is in here. This is very important. Yeah, you decide what you do. You do it for yourself, not for us. Yeah. So if you decide to do it this.
This is Michal. Go grab yourself a cup of tea or something to drink, because knowing us, we'll probably be here a while.
Today we're going to tell you if learning salsa is easy or not. Today's program is sponsored by feeback. No, it's not actually. I just like drinking it. But maybe one day. So, if we wanted to limit ourselves to talking about if learning salsa is easy or not, this video would last just 10 seconds because we would say it's not easy. It's not easy. But we'll talk about something more. We'll give you 7 tips of how to make it easier, more enjoyable, more fun, and how to benefit from learning quicker.
Okay, so tip number 1 is to be regular and consistent.
Yes, I would say this is the most important thing in general. This video is about learning how to dance, but you can apply probably all the rules that we are talking about to every other discipline you're going to learn. Another thing I will tell you, if I knew all of it before I started, let's say, high school, I would be a lot more clever now. I would be more clever. Like all these tips, they should basically tell you at school, but they don't, and you discover them as adult, and then obviously you take some pleasure and enjoyment from learning when we could easily do it as kids, and that would be a lot more beneficial. But that's big off topic. Okay, coming back to being regular and consistent. So, important thing is to develop a routine. So how often are you dancing? Okay, now that's a stupid question because you're probably dancing every day now. So you are not a good example.
Yeah.
But if we want to learn anything, basically, it's important to put it in your weekly schedule. Know days and times when you're learning.
Day,
yeah. Days and times. You need to know what you're going to do. You might be instructed by your teacher as well what to do. But if let's say if you come to a regular class and you participate the class, so you know, let's say Monday, Wednesday, 7:30, I'm doing my 1 hour of beginner salsa, yeah? And being regular and consistent means also to attend regularly the classes. Because, for example, when we do our beginner's course, we can guarantee the results, but the only one requirement is that you guys don't miss classes. But if you decide to learn by yourself, it's exactly the same idea. So basically, if you, let's say, follow one of our online courses and you know that beginner's bachata comes up every Friday, you are ready every Friday to do it. No excuses. Yeah, no, that should be probably one of the biggest things, because if you miss your dedicated slot once, you'll do it many more times in the future.
Yeah. And it's not like you'll catch up, so you often tell yourself, oh, I've missed it, I'll just do it later on.
Or I'll do it twice.
You're not going to do it twice, yeah, exactly. You're not going to catch up on what you've missed.
Yeah. So everything is in here. This is very important. Yeah, you decide what you do. You do it for yourself, not for us. Yeah. So if you decide to do it this and this day, this and this time, no excuses. Bang, it's done. Okay. So this is very important aspect. You know, this app Duolingo, quite Duolingo?
Yeah.
Or Duolingo?
Duolingo.
Quite many people are doing courses using this app. Back in times, I used to do Spanish on Memrise, very similar thing. And I had like very long streak. Like I was doing it for, let's say, around a year with not a missing single day. Like day by day, bang, 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 bang. And then I missed a day. I got so demotivated.
Yeah.
I came back to it again and I did like a streak around 20-30 days. And like, geez, I'm so far away from the one I had. I know that Duolingo lets you cheat. So even if you skip one, then you can say, like, I don't know, pay a couple of coins or whatever, pay them money and you have your streak. But the streaks are motivating. Yeah, they are like very, very natural motivators. And I remember when I lost it, and that was basically game over. So one more time, don't miss your classes. This will keep you motivated. It will also create an impression of improvement over time. Yeah. So 1 week you are at this stage, the next week you go a bit further, a bit further, a bit further, a bit further, and then you don't have gaps in between. You feel like you are improving consistently. This is quite important as well, because if you find yourself learning and then gaps start appearing, gaps in knowledge, skills, whatever, it will get difficult. There is another aspect of it as well. When you are learning online, you can redo a class that you don't understand or you didn't fully acknowledge multiple times. And again, we say all these things about learning salsa, but it could be applied to literally every single discipline. Whatever you're learning, it would work.
Number 2 is find your drive, whether it's music, technique, learning moves, whatever it is. When you're learning to dance, it just helps to know that you have a motivation to do it. So if you want to focus on music, you can develop in that. If you want to focus technique, you can focus on that. That will keep you pushing in that aspect, and then that will influence the other parts as well.
I would say that it is important to understand, and from teaching perspective, we do know that people are driven by different factors. Yeah. So not everybody will be dedicated to dancing just like that. Everybody needs something extra. Yeah. So we see that there are people coming here and they're like, oh, this song was amazing. I want to listen to it again. Do you have something similar? And they start developing this direction. Then they start listening by themselves and they keep sending me songs and say, have you heard that? This is great. This is amazing. And so on. And this is, for me, it's cool. I like this aspect definitely. I like Cuban music, and if people keep sending me songs, sometimes I don't respond, but I definitely listen to them. And if I can, obviously I will respond as well. And if we have a short discussion about the song, that's even better. By the way, we are going to do a series of videos similar to this one, like sitting. It will be me and Dave and maybe Mike as well, when we will talk to you about artists, about bands, about singers. Yeah, in general, we'll tell you a bit more about music. We will be not able to play any commercial music during our videos, but we'll try to give you like entry point. So when you search for salsa music for the first time on YouTube, you get normally a lot of, I don't want to say this word, but I will crap. You get a lot of commercial music that we are not using at all. But once you discover the first band, the second one, and then Spotify is a great tool because it gives you a lot of suggestions, then you start developing musically. And for many people, this is a massive, massive motivation to develop dancing as well. Ola is different. You like to improve on technique.
Technique is a big thing for me. Just because if I do a move and I don't do it perfectly, or at least as close to perfection as I can, or I don't know exactly how to do it, it just irritates me. So I just need to know how to do it right and develop on that. So yeah, for me it's technique.
So it's not about learning a lot of things, it's about learning them right.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that's a very, very, very fair point. Like many people are driven by that, I would call it perfectionism in a way, yeah? So you can watch yourself multiple times and say, no, I don't like that.
And I do that, yeah. And it does help. And then later on you just feel more comfortable doing the moves as well. So.
Yeah, so it can be that. Some people like measurable ideas. So for example, learning the certain number of moves. I was like that at the beginning, I think. So I know that when I was going to the party, many girls told me that I know a lot more moves than other guys, and they enjoyed dancing with me because I knew moves that other guys didn't. So majority of people danced the same moves over and over and over, and I kept adding something completely different. And they were like, ooh, I don't know that. Ooh. So it was kind of motivating. And I don't want to say that again, but I will. For many people, other people are the driver. Yeah, so impressing other people. Yeah, it's not entirely wrong. I would say anything what motivates you is good.
Yeah. Yeah, and it'll be different for like literally everyone, because some people will just be like, oh, I want to go and learn to dance so I can speak to other people, so I can dance with other people, so I'm like comfortable and confident to just go out and dance in front of other people.
Yes, but
So-
that's good what you said, because actually it gave me the thought to again compare it to learning languages, because again some people will want to learn poetry, for example, in foreign language, and so it's a bit like learning music. Yeah, some other people, if we go to technique, they will need sophisticated grammar. They will find some complex constructions in language and so on. And some other people will just learn the number of words. Yeah, they will just try to memorize as many words as possible. And some other people will be motivated just by talking to other people.
Yeah.
And this is exactly the same. So what we want from you, or what we are advising you in here right now, is to realize what works for you. Yeah, it doesn't matter what it is, and we are not judging on it. I would say that all of it is good, in a bit different way good, but all of it is good. Just be aware of what is yours, what drives you. So this is number 2.
Okay, number 3, linking to what Michal just said, doing it for yourself, and you should only do it for yourself, not for anyone else. There are no expectations. You're not doing it, well, if you think that you're doing it to impress someone else, that's fine. But don't work towards just like impressing others.
There are no exams.
Yeah.
We are not, I mean, maybe one day we'll do it and maybe it will be a motivator for somebody. But in general, there are no exams, there are no limits, there is no certain point that you would say like, okay, I have to finish right there, right now. No. You do it, I don't know, can I call it hobby? Yeah, you could say that. So when you are developing hobby, you are doing it for yourself, not knowing really at the beginning what's going to happen at the end. It kind of contradicts some other things what we said before, because we said like we know that some people need this measurable aspects when they are learning or developing anything, and here we are telling you don't do that. I mean, we are just telling you to understand that this is the nature of learning, yeah? So there is basically no limit, no expectation. You do it for yourself. And even my mom used to tell me, Michal, you're going to school and you do it for yourself, not for me, not for your grades. You do it for yourself. And yeah, that's true. But again, as a kid, you don't necessarily understand that. And then the same happens to languages. You start learning language, not because somebody told you so, it's just, you just decided to do it and that's it. Like you said, it would be cool to speak this other language, or it would be cool to be able to dance. Yeah, it's the same thing. So we are not telling you to use it as a factor, but we are telling you to understand that this is how it works. And this knowledge and understanding that there is no penalty for doing it wrong. And no clear reward as well. Like a reward is there, and we'll tell you how to find your rewards as well, but it's stretched in time. Yeah, it's stretched in time. There will be moments when you will feel really, really good about what you've done, and this will be the ultimate reward, even not necessarily getting a certificate at the end of the course. What we can do as well, we'll give you a certificate if you are happy with that. But realistically, you have to understand that the reward is coming over time, not with a click of the fingers. Yeah, important. Let's move on.
Number 4, be part of a group, even if it's online, especially now.
Yeah, especially now. So usually, I would say 90% of people who are attending classes, they start because they want to meet people. Yeah, it's not really about learning how to dance. We know that. Don't worry about that. We are aware of that. It's okay. It's perfectly fine.
50 WhatsApp groups.
Yeah. So people are aiming to meet people, and that's perfectly fine. But sometimes it's in a romantical context. That's all right as well. But more often, you want to belong to the group. You want to be part of the group. And from learning perspective, it has a massive influence, because if you have to do something by yourself, it's a lot harder than if you have people to do it with you. Like even now, what we are doing now, literally now, recording this video for you, if we had to sit here by ourselves, just one person, it's demotivating again. It's
Yeah, be like, I'll do it tomorrow, and then you don't.
yeah. And now I say like, okay, voila, 4 o'clock, bam, we are meeting, we're recording, and then it motivates me to do it, and obviously she's joining as well, so we are both pushing towards one goal. And this is exactly how this learning how to dance as a group works. And now you would say like, okay, now we can't meet with people, we have to social distance, fair enough. But for example, when we do online class on Thursday, the chat is very alive. Yeah, people are talking, and they are not only talking about our
Food and
yeah, not only about our class, exactly. Yes, also food. Yeah, they were baking cakes. They are describing all their surroundings. They are telling us what they are doing. And I'm okay. I'm going to watch you on the balcony. So I'm like, okay, so you are not going to dance, but you want to belong to the group, so it's okay. Again, the same aspect. Yes, so some people don't necessarily feel satisfaction from doing an action, but just literally from belonging in a group. Now, when it comes to improving as a group, if you are part of the group is improving, you are not, how do you feel? Yeah, you feel bad about it, no? So it might work in two directions. It might motivate you a lot and you become suddenly better because you see your mates getting better, or the bad scenario is that you drop out. It might happen as well. But again, if you are going prepared, so this video that we are doing, the goal for it is to make you ready, make you aware, make you understand of what is happening, yeah? Because, yeah, okay, you know that you are part of the group, but you should know how the dynamics of the group works and that it can help you a lot, but it can also hurt you. Oh yeah, that's a good thing. Don't depend on your mates, yeah? It's again, so all these aspects are really connected. From one point of view, we tell you, you do it for yourself. But on the other hand, we say, be a part of the group. And all of it makes sense, yeah? So again, all these mechanisms work at the same time, and there is not much you can do to change them, but you can adapt. You can be aware of them, and you can use them for your own benefit. So being part of the group, working with people together, is definitely motivating. And with dancing, that's for sure. And again, if we transfer it to languages, that would work exactly in the same way, yeah?
Number 5, set yourself measurable goals.
Okay, so what could be a measurable goal when we're learning salsa?
Learning routines. So deciding that, okay, this week I'm going to do 5 new routines.
Oh, that's ambitious. I mean, okay, I like that, but that's very ambitious. If you learn one a week, I'm still happy with that. But in general, for example, for the beginners salsa course, we've developed this small leaflets, guides that you can tick all the moves that you're learning. Yeah, so you learn the thing, tick it, learn tick, tick, and so on. So the same with steps, with moves, with some certain skills as well. I like to put, like, let's say 3 different levels on it. So first would be, we've done it on the class. I can't remember, but we've done it. Okay. Second is, we've done it and I remember it. And third is, I can use it while I'm dancing. So when you reach the stage 3, then you say, okay. And again, this is not 0-1 system. So I know, I don't know. It's more a process as well. So at the beginning, you know a bit, then it starts clearing up in your head, and then at some point, bang, you're smashing it while dancing. And that's definitely one of the ways to measure your progress. What else could we do?
Actually, and you don't want to overdo it. So probably 5 here is too much, because going back to that setting a timetable and being consistent, if you tell yourself, okay, today I'm going to learn this, you're looking at the list and you're like, okay, that's too much. So being like, okay, today I'm going to learn, I don't know, a chest circle, and working on that. So just being like having a measurable goal,
realistic
but
goal.
realistic as well.
Yeah.
Something that you know you can achieve, and then you're like, yeah, I did it. I can move on.
So that leads us to another aspect. So achieving goals in general. Yeah. So achieving measurable goals, not only having goals but achieving them. That's definitely a motivating factor when you are dancing. It can make it definitely easier. Many people have this one goal that I like in particular. So to be able to go out and dance fluently. And this is something what normally when people start learning with us, I'm telling them, this is my goal as a teacher. This is what I would like you to achieve from our classes, to be able to dance fluently at the party. And that would be great. I can give you another example. Like now during the lockdown, some people have more time than they used to have. And for example, one of our students, I probably can't say who, James, he decided to learn multiple routines. The last time I checked with him, he already learned 16. So 16 solo routines. But yesterday when I asked him, was it yesterday? Yesterday on the chat he responded to that. I asked him like, oh, which number of the routine are we now on? Like introducing the new one. And he was, oh, this is number 24. So it looks like we've already introduced you to 24 routines. Probably when you're watching this video, it's a bit more than 24. But at the point when we are recording, so we introduced you in this last 3 months to 24 routines. Do you have to learn all 24 of them? Probably not. Can you learn all 24 of them? Why not? So again, there are some people who will learn all of them, but there are some people who will say 1 a week is perfectly fine for me. And this is going to improve you, because if you do 1 a week for whole year, you get over 50 of them. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. If you do 24 for 3 months, that gives you 8 per month. So that's over 100. No, it's not over 100. It's 96. So okay, nearly 100 a year. No, yeah, it's not actually true what I'm saying, because there are more weeks than I counted it by months. But if you count it by weeks, probably you would get to 100. Okay, it's too high maths. But yes, you could get to 100 routines like that. This would be crazy, amazing. Worth doing. Actually, again, I think it's not that much.
See, that's why I said 4.
Yeah, because that. Yeah, okay. 24 in 3 months. That's only 8 a month. So 2 a week. It's nothing crazy. It's definitely achievable. 2 a week. Okay. Yeah. So you see, like when James told me about this 24 routines, I thought about it as really big number, and now I think it's just 2 a week.
Yeah.
So this system works. Just 2 a week. 2 a week. After 3 months, you have 24. Amazing. Okay, let's move on.
Right, number 6, appreciate feedback, understand your weaknesses, because only that way you can learn.
Yes.
But I don't think that always works. It depends how well you take feedback. In dance, it's really important to take feedback on well, because it's really hard when you're dancing, and if you don't have a mirror, and if you're dancing socially, you don't necessarily you can't see what you're doing wrong, or if people don't tell you, like, how will you know how to improve? Yeah,
you could record yourself. That's definitely good method. However, probably many of you realize that watching videos and learning even from them is not so simple. So then how could you judge whether what you dance is good or not just watching the video? You can have like in general visual aesthetic impression, and it's like, okay, this looked nice or this didn't. Yeah, but it's very difficult to clearly state, okay, that was good, okay, that was bad. It comes with experience. So now when we are watching videos, it's quite easy, like not necessarily ours in general. We can say like, oh, this was technically good, this was not so great. Or if we watch ourselves, we are like, okay, this is something to improve. Like, oh, I thought I'm doing this a bit different there. Or I look at some arm movement and I think like, oh, I didn't think about it at all. Like I didn't pay attention. So yeah, that works. And with experience, you can say that. So obviously we can help you with that. So if you record some video. You can even send it to us and we'll tell you what we think about it. No problem about that. However, it is important that when you're asking for feedback, you're ready to take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could tell you a story in here again. There was this guy. That was a long time ago. I would say 6-7 years ago. There was a guy coming to our classes. He was getting pretty good in bachata. His bachata was his thing. Like he was very emotional while dancing. Yeah, like it was really into. And then he tried to dance to the music, but he was always late.
Okay.
Yeah, he was not hitting accent. He was just straight behind it.
Yeah.
And one day he came to me for feedback and he said like, look mate, I've been learning now this bachata with you like for over a year or something, and I feel like I'm getting good, but tell me what should I concentrate on, what should I improve? So I said like, okay, like another aspect, I was relatively new to teaching in England. Yeah, so I wasn't really as aware as I am now. So now I would say it differently. Yeah.
Not so polite.
Yeah. I would be more polite now.
Yeah, that's what the year before you were.
No. I just like he asked me, so I answered. So I said, like, yeah, like you are dancing pretty well, but every time when the accent appears, you just miss it. So you should concentrate on developing your musicality skills. And he got so angry and upset. I mean, he didn't get angry, but he got upset and I believe disappointed. And he never came back to classes. Like he just vanished straight after that. And I'm like, you come to me for feedback. I give you genuine advice that I believe that it would help you. And instead of accepting it, you just say like, oh, he's idiot, he knows nothing. And yeah, I might be an idiot, but I know something. So at this point, I learned that was a lesson for me as well. Now I would dress it nicer. Yeah, I would tell it in a bit different way. Sometimes I still don't. Yeah. You know me well, and you know that very often I will tell you exactly what I think. And I will not look for a way around it. Yeah, if you are prepared for that, great. If you are not, because that's another thing. Do you want me to treat you as a customer or do you want me to treat you as a friend? Because to the friend, I will tell honestly what I think. I will not try to hide it or make it sound nicer. No, I'll just tell you what I think. So that's another completely different aspect. I'm not going to go there. So Ola said at the beginning as well, when we started discussing this point about understanding your weaknesses, understanding that you have them, and that's not a problem. So if somebody else can find it for you, that's even better. Because for majority of people, it takes really long time to understand it. Like, again, without mentioning any names, but I know people who've been dancing for a very long time and still struggle with the rhythm. And it's not a problem, because this is something to work on. Yeah. The problem starts when these people stop accepting the fact that they struggle with the rhythm. Yeah. So they do it constantly wrong, and they start treating it as something normal and that they are just good when it's completely wrong.
Yeah. Don't develop bad habits.
No, but then it's about awareness. So you can tell to person like that, try to improve, let's say, musicality, but then they get offended because they think they are good with it when they are not. And now, from a student perspective, you want to learn, you want to get better, you have to accept that some elements during the process will be imperfect or completely wrong, and you have to change them. And that's not a biggie. It just happens. For me, for a very long time, there were turns. I hated turns, but I was aware of that. I mean, okay, I was aware because I hated it as well. But I knew that I hated it because I was bad with it. Now I'm still not great with turns. I'm getting better. I can feel I'm getting better. But again, I can see, for example, Ola, that she does the same thing and it comes to her with a lot of ease. And I'm maybe not suffering anymore, but putting a lot of effort in the same element. And I'm like, still not there. But it's okay. Over time, I can again feel that it is improving. Yeah. So There's nothing to feel shy about, nothing to feel offended about. It is just an element to improve. That's it. End of story.
Number 7, last one. So be realistic and understand that dance is a very long process.
That's important one.
Yes. So pretty much summing up everything that we just said, it just takes a lot of time.
Again, I like to give a language example in here. You would like to learn Mandarin. Let's assume that you can't speak it at all. Yeah. So some of you who are watching us probably already can speak it, but let's assume that you can't. Would you assume that you go to one class and you will be able to communicate fluently in Mandarin? No, unless you are a genius. It may happen. I'm not saying no, it's not can't happen, but it's very rare. So you want to learn it and you accept that it will take time to learn. When people start learning how to dance, they don't want to accept that. They go to, for example, Revolution de Cuba in Manchester, where they are taught 5 different moves on the first class, and they think they are masters of dancing. Are they? You answer this question. I'll make our faces blank now. No facial expressions. Well, no facial expression now. Are they?
I can't.
Okay.
Mine would be.
Okay. Yeah, so obviously it does take time. There are no miracles. I mean, there are miracles. There are some super talented people who can pick up dancing as well very, very fast. But even them, without principles, without basics, without fundamental rules and ideas, without knowing all of it, they will be just blindly copying. It's still not the same. So you have to know and understand that it will take time no matter what, and just accept it. That the processes are really enjoyable if you have the right attitude for it. Yeah, like one of the most rewarding feelings from teacher perspective is see the process of development of your students. Like when I see people coming to our classes for the first time, and then after a couple of months, I can see them again dancing fluently at the party. I'm like, okay, that was cool. We've done something right. It did work. And another thing, we are not guessing if these processes will work. We know it because we've done it already many times. Yeah, with many students of ours and with ourselves as well. So every time when I, for example, find something interesting, some challenging move, and all I believe has the same thing, like you see some challenge on Instagram, you spend some time to learn it. It takes many attempts. Even if you have already experience in dancing, you see a new routine and you are not just looking at it and copying it straight away. You want to do it right, and you know that it will take some time. The same, we are preparing guys classes for you. We invent the new routine, let's say for intermediate salsa, so they are not so simple. We are doing quite often something completely new, and it will take us quite a bit of time to start doing it fluently. And I would say, so obviously the time it takes depends on your experience, on your skill level, and so on. So for example, if we develop this new intermediate routine, first we kind of create the choreography, then it will take another hour or so to practice and learn it, learn how to dance it fluently, but it will take probably another week to be confident with it and to be able to
make your own.
Start feeling when you are dancing it, and start enjoying with dynamic fast music, start interacting with music at the same time as dancing this routine, start feeling that routine actually matches the music as well. So all of this takes time, and we are perfectly fine with it. And the question is, are you? Okay, I think that's it. We've summarized it all. 7 different tips. If you take them, great. If you don't take them, less great. But we want to make your dancing journey or salsa journey, however you want to call it, more enjoyable, easier, and we want you to feel aware of what you are doing. This is very important aspect of learning of anything. The same as from teaching perspective, we analyze what we are doing. We, especially now when we record ourselves so much, we can clearly see when we do something right, when we do something wrong, when we would like to change something, when we would do it differently last time. Like even if I watch the videos from, let's say, 3 months ago, not so long time. Like if you think about dancing processes, 3 months is a really short time. So we watched video of us from 3 months ago. Please don't do that. No, I'm joking. You can do that. And we're thinking like, what the hell is that? Why did we do it this way? Yeah. So in general, perspective is changing over time. Ola told me before we started recording today that she watched her reggaeton videos. How old were they?
Like 2 years.
2 years. And she's like, oh my God, how could I do that? Like, it's embarrassing. And at the point when you were dancing it then, you didn't think it was embarrassing. No? So it felt good at that point. And another aspect is that people who are watching you, so that's advice for you guys as well, people who are watching you, in most of cases, they will not have this relative perspective as well. So they will be not able to compare you 2 months ago and you now. Everything is happening here and now. So they will watch it, and again, the only thing they will really judge is the general visual aesthetics, and that's it. So there is nothing to be worried or nothing to be scared about. However, from our perspective, we even give feedback to ourselves in a way. Yeah, we watch it and drama. But again, at the point when we were doing it, we didn't think that. We didn't think that. And realistically, it's not that bad as well. However, we start noticing more and more small mistakes that we could correct, and probably we will correct in future. Yeah? So we understand it is a process, and we understand that, for example, videos where even the video we are recording right now, in 3 months time from now, if we did the same again, and probably will, because we'll get out of the lockdown. So this is 7 tips from lockdown perspective. However, I would like really to talk how to make your dance easier when you dance with partners. Yeah, that would be a very valuable lesson as well, but obviously would be kind of useless now because you can't dance with partners yet. So as soon as we get out of the lockdown, or maybe even a bit earlier, who knows, we'll make another video when we will discuss a bit more about how to make dancing with partners easier, how to understand your partner, how to start feeling what is happening in a couple, and so on. But that's discussion for another episode. If you enjoyed this one, remember to like, subscribe, and press the bell. Like, subscribe, and press the bell. The sponsor of this episode was Timberg. No, it wasn't. Well, you know, this cactus juice is really good. It's one of my favorite things. You can follow us on Facebook. You can follow us on Instagram. You can become a patron of our channel if you like our chats, our classes. You know that our dance classes will appear on our channel very, very often, almost every day. There will be more chats like this as well. So if you would like to listen to us as a podcast in your car, during shower, whenever you want, you can do it as well. There will be more theoretical and more musical chats as well. So thanks for watching this one. We'll see you in the next episode very soon. See you later. Bye bye.